going to think about adding some cap to the top of the sleeve. Neither of the samples I have here in the video space are showing you a sleeve that is results from not having enough sleeve cap. And in fact, the Opus pattern, and this is our Opus friend, has a little bit of a drop shoulder. So you generally would not need to add any sleeve cap to that sleeve. But in the Tabula Rasa jacket, we find that some people need to have a little bit of extra cap at the sleeve in order for the sleeve to hang well. And it has a little bit to do with how full your upper arm is at the top, how your arm actually sets into your body, none of which we need to understand completely, but we need to know how to do the adjustment. And so if you needed this adjustment, your sleeve would not hang as nicely as this one. It has the little folds that are required when you have a square armhole, and the arm would just sit right in here, and the balance lines would be pretty straight. And if you need this extra sleeve cap, your sleeve would probably be, and let's see if we pull this up here a little, it would be twisting a little bit. So it actually sort of twists a little bit as it moves down the arm. You've probably even seen this in some of your other garments if it's something that you need. And a really good way to test if that is the problem and if that's going to help you is to just release this seam up here at the sleeve cap, maybe between the two balance lines, and let the sleeve cap drop a little bit and see if that actually allows the sleeve to hang a little bit straighter. And we do find that that is generally what happens. And I, in fact, add a good bit of cap to my sleeve, my Tabula Rasa jacket sleeve, so that it fits me pretty well. And I'm very thrilled with that. So this video will show you how to add the paper and redraw the sleeve cap so you can have that adjustment and your sleeve will hang a little bit better. You know, sleeves are always moving around, and this sleeve is no different. And in fact, it's not like a set-in sleeve where it stays pretty put. It does move around as you move. But if you're finding that little twist and it bothers you, if you make this sleeve cap adjustment, everything will feel a little bit better. So enjoy the video. Take the steps you need to add a little cap if you need it, and you will have a better pattern. This is the flat pattern work to add some cap to the top of the sleeve pattern in the Tabula Rasa jacket. This is an alteration we've found some people feel better in when they do it in the jacket. If you have any sort of little twisting, as we discussed in the intro, this will probably solve that problem, and it just gives you a little bit more room to move. And the way that we do this, the alteration is made between the two notches on the pattern. This is the single notch for the front and the double notch for the back. And they are not even, but that is as it should be. Our front body is very different than our back body in terms of the armhole. So we're going to tape some paper here between the two notches, and then we're going to raise the cap. And I have taken the random idea of making it 5/8 inch. That's always a number I like because that's size seam allowance we always are using. But you can use any amount. If you have just a tiny little bit of torque, you might only want to add 1/2 inch. And if you have a lot, you might want to actually add a whole inch. You can add up to a whole inch without making any changes to the body, although the sleeve will be a little harder to set in because it really has very little of the change right now. It has very little ease at this point. It's fairly flat. So I have my ruler here. I've lined it up to the dots that line up with the shoulder seam, and I am going to mark the 5/8 inch line right here. And I'm actually going to put a dot here, 5/8 inch from and that will become the new dot where the shoulder seam comes into the sleeve. And here is our curved ruler. This is a dandy place to use your curved ruler, and you need to just find a place that works well, starting here and landing just a little bit this inside of the notch. Here we're going to work from the back first. That's easier. The angle is a lot tighter in the front. So I'm going to start here. I have a little bit of room here where I'm right on the original seam line, cutting line. That's what we like. We're drawing a new cutting line. And I'm going to just come up here and draw a new cap to the arm. It's really mostly here at the top. Your sleeve will begin to look a little bit more like a set-in sleeve. And then we'll also do the same thing here in the front. We will come and find a place where the ruler just runs right along the original cutting line and allows us to join up here at the dot with a nice little line here, and that's what we're going to put. And when we come off, we can see that there is our great new line, and you'll want to cut that out before you go to the fabric and cut out your jacket or your jacket mock-up if you're just testing your jacket. If you've already tested your jacket, then you'll just test this in your wearable mock-up perhaps, or the next Tabula Rasa jacket that you make with your pattern. If you're using the Opus pattern, it has a dropped shoulder, and it generally does not need any additional sleeve cap because that is, you need a flatter sleeve head, and that sleeve has been drafted differently so that it will fit into the Opus coat pattern. Thanks for watching.